8 home wins a season ago, en route to a second straight season of 10 or more wins. But they'll be tested by the reigning Southland Conference regular season champion Northwestern State Demons, who won 13 games a season ago and are picked to win the Southland one more time. Oklahoma head coach Matt Mott, his team got off to a 7-0-1 start last year. They got up to number 19 in the national polls, brings back a lot of good players, but he said this might be the most athletic team that he's ever had. He said everybody on the field is fast. And Ian Brophy, he's just won at Northwestern State, won 11 games 2 years ago, 13 last year, regular season champs, but fell short, losing in the Southland semifinals last year. Great to be alongside Nick McMillan. I am Chad McKee. It is season opener number 4 for each of those head coaches at his respective school. That means lots of time to recruit the kind of players you want to fit your style. How do you expect these styles to match up?
Well, with Northwestern, they want to just play with pressure. So they're going to play in their defensive third, and they want the other team to make a mistake, and then they want to break them down and counter. But to the Sooners, they want to press, and they want to make that pressure, and they want to have you make mistakes. Tonight is going to be an interesting matchup.
New faces in goal for both teams. Callie Sullivan, a redshirt freshman, won the positional battle for Oklahoma, and then Saki Tuccia will start, double transfer for Northwestern State. How does each fit the style of play for their respective team?
With Sullivan, she is just big, athletic, and she is not afraid to put her body on the line. And with Saki, she is such good playing the ball with her feet. She can spray it all across the field. They fit both perfectly.
In the season opener last year, Northwestern State won on the road at a ranked Texas team. For that reason, Matt Mott says, yes, the Demons have his team's full attention in this season opener, which is next. Game time temperature, 100 degrees. Heat index, well, let's not even talk about it. It is roasting hot, but it's that way for many season openers around the SEC and around the country tonight. The Oklahoma starting lineup tonight, it features their leading returning scorer from a season ago. Highlighted is Kayla Kiefer, had an excellent year, 22 points that she scored, including 7 goals. They have physicality with Lacanol and Legan on the back row. And keep an eye on Narissa Fultz, who is a transfer from Arizona. And she's from Norman, one of the many players from right here in Norman now on this Oklahoma Sooner roster. For Northwestern State, Riley Stern, kind of a coach on the field. She was first team all-conference last year. Program record 9 assists for her in 2025. But Emma Bethel back on the back row, preseason all-Southland Conference. They've had a player, Paige Baumgartner, who's been a little bit beat up in the preseason, but she's the leading returning scorer in the Southland Conference. Scored 9 goals a season ago, not in the starting lineup tonight. We'll see about her availability as the evening rolls along. Ian Brophy, 4th win, or 4th season as head coach at Northwestern State. This is a team not scared to go on the road, Nick. You know they have the confidence, having gone in the season opener down to Austin, Texas, and getting that victory a season ago.
You know, it was one of the things when we asked him, he enjoys this type of matchup because it gives a test for his girls just to see where they're at. And I mean, and coming away with a win makes these tests even better.
Set for the opening kickoff, fans rising to their feet here at John Crane Field on this Wednesday night. One of 12 games involving SEC teams on opening night of the collegiate soccer season. Glad to have you along for the ride. And for Oklahoma, they'll get first touch. Kate McAllister in the midfield, freshman that they are super excited about, and we are underway in 2026. Northwestern State will look to possess the ball. They want to defend, and Oklahoma wants to suffocate you. Sooners get this initial throw in. Try to toss it down to Fultz, who we mentioned just a moment ago. Demons control it. That's Riley Stern, who came out of the pack to get possession for Northwestern State. This is Alexia Adama, a freshman who's hit the ground running. She's from Quebec, Canada. Long toss headed forward. Out of the pack for Oklahoma comes Kendall Campbell, redshirt senior. It's Bailey Porter taking the throw in for Northwestern State. And another throw in here for the Demons right at midfield.
And this is what we're talking about with this possession base. They're not afraid to go back to their keeper. And you see here, she stands on the ball. She wants to absorb that pressure, which is going to try to potentially bring those Sooners out.
Saki Tsuchiya back in goal, native of Japan, had a junior college stop at Tyler Junior College before playing a few matches at Valparaiso last year. All the way back it comes and served out of bounds by Drew Legan, the sophomore for Oklahoma on that back row. Legan, Jenks native, 6A state champion in Oklahoma during her time at Jenks. This down to the foot of Gabriella Page. Northwestern State held possession for about 63% of the time a season ago. Bearing down on goal comes Kiefer, and that's bumped out of bounds by Riley Pottiger, who is the lone Oklahoma native on this Northwestern State roster.
Saki was caught in no man's land there. She didn't know whether to step or kind of stay, which kind of had to make the defender make that last-ditch save to save the ball. But you can see there, she wants to play a little bit higher so they can keep that possession-based style.
This is Sophie Morin to take a corner kick from the near post, serving it across. All the way across that time, trying to get it to Kendall Campbell on the backside in front of the goal. El Canty comes away for the Sooners. And that'll be out of bounds. And a goal kick. Matt Mott's Sooners, we talked to him a couple of days ago and said they were out painting the red Boomer and Sooner on the berms just outside of the dugouts. So excited, get a little nervous. They had a great offseason. They have 16 new players, 8 of whom who just arrived in the fall, but all 16 of them haven't been through preseason camp with the Sooners and went through it this year. Dangerous opportunity here as it comes free.
Penalty.
And we've got a penalty in the box. It feels like Kate McAllister was trying to reach that ball and was fouled by a Demon. And I think Oklahoma's going to get a golden chance here early in this one, Nick.
And when you watch the build-up play with that, you see there, great touch by Kiefer, plays it across. Narissa being very unselfish. Right there, defender just grabs and tries to make a last-ditch tackle, pulls Kate down, and that's an easy, clear-cut penalty for me.
So call the foul on Sophie Manillo, junior from Land O'Lakes, Florida. And we'll see who takes this penalty kick for the Sooners. Who are you expecting to see strike this one, Nick?
I would believe Kiefer would be the one that takes it, but it looks like we're actually going to a VAR review already.
Yes, we are. So each team now, this is new this year. It was 1 challenge for each team. Now it's 2. So each team can challenge, and we don't get an announcement in stadium. We can only tell you it looks like Ian Brophy is going to challenge this ruling. That is one of the things. You can challenge penalty kick infractions. That's one of the 7 reviewable plays. Maybe locked her up with her feet, pulling her to the ground. Nick, what do you think? Tough decision here for Marie Durr, who is the referee in charge reviewing this.
It's a tough decision because it's early in the game. And so, I mean, we've only been playing for about 3-4 minutes now, and so this is going to be a crucial call to make. But when you look there, it doesn't look like the Northwestern player wins the ball, and she goes through the player first before making an attempt at the ball, which would be a penalty in my opinion.
So the penalty kick has been confirmed. Wipe away one of the challenges for that man, Ian Brophy, and the Demons in Oklahoma with a chance to strike first here in the season opener. 3.5 minutes in, Kayla Kiefer will line it up. She had 7 goals last season as a Sooner after transferring in from Ole Miss. Kiefer against Saki Tsuchiya, the new keeper for Northwestern State. Kiefer steps in, she strikes it, and she scores! She goes low and left, And the keeper, Tuccia, went the other way. Oklahoma has the first tally in 2026, and it comes from Kiefer.
And that's just a beautiful penalty there by Kiefer. I mean, even if the goalkeeper goes the right way, that's going to be a tough one to save. That one's right side netting. And I mean, if you're Matt Mount right now, you are so ecstatic because you want Kiefer to start the season hot. Last year, she kind of got off to a slow start, but if you get a few early goals for her in the non-conference, during season, she is going to be on fire.
13th career goal for Kiefer and the 8th for her in her 2 seasons as an Oklahoma Sooner. So the penalty kick comes about 3.5 minutes in, and Oklahoma has this 1-0 lead. Throw-in coming here for the Demons. Kate Bauk, who is a junior from Flagstaff, Arizona. 2nd season as a Demon after a year at Northern Arizona. Up the flank comes Kendall Humphrey, trying to serve it in front of the goal. It's knocked down by the new keeper, Sullivan. She was able to get her hand on that.
That's a great first save, and that's going to give her confidence going into this game. I mean, that's her first real collegiate touch of a save. I mean, to make a reaction save like that, that is just amazing.
Here's the speed of El Canty, trying to flatten it out. Foot race to it, and it'll just go out of bounds. So this was a very dangerous chance here for the Demons to get an equalizer.
I mean, beautiful move here. Cuts her once, cuts her right at back, plays low across the box. I mean, just an unlucky deflection, but I mean, that is just a touch save. I mean, for Callie, that is exactly how she wants to start this game, with a big save.
I think that actually went off the foot of Allie Lacanol of Oklahoma. Morin comes away with for the Sooners. Canty trying to work it forward, bumped down by Emma Pethel, who's a physical player on the back row for Northwestern State. Northwestern State is replacing the Southland Player of the Year, Emily Senator, who scored 12 goals last season, and the Conference Defensive Player of the Year, Jessica Spitzer. Sent away by Tuccia. Out of bounds and an Oklahoma throw-in.
And you can already tell there's an interesting change. On the first goal kick that Northwestern had, they tried to play out of pressure, which then resulted in that penalty kick. And you saw right there, it was just a one-touch straight back to the keeper, and then they went long with it. So it's going to be interesting to see if Northwestern can stay to their tactics and stay to the style they want to play, or is this press from OU going to change their things up, and they're going to have to make different decisions.
Is it a case where, you know, you can try to practice for a team's style, but until you get on the field against the speed and physicality that they have, you really don't understand exactly what you're getting into?
Exactly. There's no press like a game press. I mean, players play different in a game. So in practice, you can tell your players to mimic, you know, really run at us and try to play, but it doesn't give that same feel like a game.
Lexi Dennis set to take this ball. Transferred to Oklahoma from Middle Tennessee State University prior to last year. Nice ball in that's headed out by Riley Stern. Demons able to clear it. Midfield, that's Legan taking it for the Sooners. This ball wide toward Adama. She can't quite reach it. It'll be, they call it a Northwestern State throw-in. Oklahoma with another opportunity. Nobody out wide here, so they will dump it back. Now served up top, trying to work it toward Morin. And sent out of bounds by Manillo. Was called for the penalty that resulted in the Oklahoma penalty kick. So it's an Oklahoma throw-in. Lexi Dentis back there. And Morin just kind of going back and forth there. And they called the first Oklahoma foul on Kiefer. So the other way it goes for Northwestern State. These two teams just kind of getting the feel of it. Oklahoma has a goal on a penalty kick by Kayla Kiefer. And back this one comes to Tuccia. Morin comes out for the Sooners. It's sent down to the turf. Oklahoma maintaining possession, though.
Great find.
Opportunity here. Fultz sends it across, and it's knocked in by Kiefer, who's got a brace in the first 10 minutes of the night. And Oklahoma takes a 2-0 lead. There's Fultz, the transfer, finding Kiefer, and the connection is good for a 2-0 Sooner start.
And that's the exact build-up play that Coach Matt Mox is going to work on. They just want to play direct. And you see at the start of that play, a beautiful ball there by Canty. And Fultz is smart here. She's trying to score, but she's playing it right across. And then just Kiefer doing what she does best. She is just all around in the box, and she saw that back post run. Beautiful, easy tap in for her. And this right now is exactly the start that the Sooners want.
2-0 beginning for Oklahoma with 2 goals already for Kayla Kiefer. Had 7 a season ago, and now has 14 in her career. And a difference maker already, you see that Fultz can be. So now Northwestern State, Nick, you're on the road, tough environment, steamy conditions, and you're down 2-0. How do you settle into this game if you're the Demons?
I mean, we talked about it at the very beginning. The way that they want to play is possession-based. And when you're getting such high press like they're getting right now, they just got to keep a hold of the ball. They're trying to play a little bit too direct, and they're playing out of their style. So if I was the Demons, I would be saying, hey, we've got to find a way to keep the ball for, a minute, 2 minutes at a time, just to kind of give our backs and give our girls a little bit of time to breathe. Because right now, this Sooner press is just outstanding.
And early we see how dangerous Matt Mott and his staff really feel like the trio of Kiefer and Fultz, along with the freshman Kate McAllister, who has just grabbed a spot in the midfield and run with it. Feels like they can be a very dangerous trio. Well, we've already seen Kiefer score twice, and Fultz has an assist to Kiefer here in the early going. That one's headed out of bounds by Allie Lacanol, who was on the SEC All-Freshman team a year ago on the back line for the Sooners. Dentis plays it forward toward Morin. Nobody home on the other end of this one, though, and it'll come back to Tuccia. Tuccia, 23 and 24, she spent at Tyler Junior College, and then 3 games at Valparaiso. This is a little different level than what she's used to. But 2 goals down already. Maybe the nerves are gone. Wide open midfield. Fultz takes that strike, and down to pick it up is Tuccia. Well, she was wide open.
Yeah, Fultz would love to have that one back. I mean, she was in acres of space. You saw she took a good touch to her right there to try to get the shot off, but I think she should have just took that touch first time because she had the whole goal to shoot at.
This is Kendall Humphrey for Northwestern State, trying to serve it in as Stern, but nobody was home. Trying to find the foot of Emily Gundin there. It's out of bounds, and a goal kick here for new Sooner starter Callie Sullivan. Had a great spring, rolled it over into playing in the summertime. The word Matt Mott used, and he was a 15-year keepers coach before becoming a head coach. Great friends with Oklahoma's keepers coach Warren Russ, and the word they use is fearless. Say, what are you looking for in a keeper, Nick? And they use that word fearless.
I mean, you've got to be a little bit fearless and a little bit crazy to play goalkeeper.
That's the word I thought you might use.
I mean,
crazy.
Just to be willing to say, you know what, someone's going to kick the ball as hard as they can right at my face, and I'm okay with it day after day. And they just speak so highly about Callie that she is not afraid to say, you know what, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to get hurt, I'm going to get, those shots, but I'm going to keep on coming back. And I think that's what makes her so different.
Here's Fultz. Open, one-on-one against Pottinger. Beats her, serves it. It's deflected, right back to Kiefer, and she's got a hat trick. How about Kiefer? Perfectly in position. Oklahoma has a 3-0 lead. And it's been the dangerous duo of Kayla Kiefer and the transfer Narissa Fultz. 3-0 Sooners.
This is one of the things that makes Fultz so dangerous. So when you watch this goal back, you just see her, she takes a hesitation, she blows by her defender. A little bit unlucky there not to score, but this is what Kiefer does best. She is just a ball hawk. She gets in the box and she finds those opportunities. And I mean, these last 2 goals she's had, I mean, she could have had her eyes closed making these goals. These are things that she does in her sleep. And I expect Kiefer to have a big year if these are the kind of shots she's going to have.
Well, how about a hat trick 12 minutes in for Kayla Kiefer?
I don't have the stats in front of me, but that's got to be close to a record right there. Within 12 minutes.
I can't imagine one happening any faster than that. 12 minutes into the season, you're already headed into the record books. And now Northwestern State's got to find some answers, try to keep possession for just a little bit, because Oklahoma will not let up. This is Morin keeping it alive. Jarred away from her by Kendall Hemperly.
And see, these are the moments right here where Northwestern just needs to kind of relax a little bit. This is their possession they want, so they want to absorb this pressure. And so you've got to find the moments to break OU down. But the problem is, OU is so athletic that they're not finding those moments. The ball's not getting switched quick enough. So OU, they're able to recover in those easy areas, which is allowing them to defeat this possession-based style. So Northwestern has to just get the ball off their foot a little bit quicker to get OU out of position.
Megan back to take this ball for the Sooners. Warren trying to skim that forward. We've got an injured Northwestern State player on the back side of this. I think it's Stern. Fultz threatens again. This ball rolls out of bounds off of Manillo. We will check on the injured Demon. And it is Riley Stern, such a key contributor, redshirt senior. She's had to deal with injuries, unfortunately, in her career. 4th year at Northwestern State. Had a redshirt in 2022 and a season-ending injury in 2024. Brophy said leadership is so invaluable. She's just an integral part of it and a coach on the field. Out of Fort Worth Timber Creek High School. That's Grace Hatch, the trainer, out to give Riley Stern a little bit of assistance in getting off.
It almost looks like she just got stepped on right there. You can't really tell the exact part, but it almost looks like when she was making that distribution, she kind of just got her feet tangled up against her. Hopefully it's nothing serious.
This is Fultz. And over the top of the goal. So the Demons now have to play on without one of their stars, one of their key ingredients in Riley Stern. See if she's able to come back. She's got to adjust that knee brace there on her right knee. Oklahoma relentless. Free ball driven off the post that time by Kiefer and freed out by Gabriella Page. Kiefer was about 2 inches away from 4 goals in 15 minutes.
I mean, if you're Kiefer, you're thinking, why not? I mean, the ball's bouncing, left-footed volley. I mean, she is seeing the ball so well right now, and that goal has got to be as big as I-35. I mean, she is just seeing everything, and all of her shots seem to be just right where she needs them to be.
You know, she pushes nonstop. Watched her for a couple of years. She went and trained up in Michigan at a really elite level training center, played with a lot of male and female high level, even some who are professional players. And Matt Mott said had a great year. It was very, very instrumental in her development. That left post has a dent. That was a missile.
And I mean, and that is hard to do. That's off the volley, coming across her body, left-footed. I mean, the technique there is just out of this world, and she just made it look easy.
3 goals and nearly a 4th for Kayla Kiefer tonight already for Oklahoma. Tuccia switches the side of the field. Northwestern State tried to advance the ball, but that will go out of bounds and an Oklahoma throw-in at midfield. That's Kendall Campbell throwing it in. great NCAA tournament experience, 3 NCAA tournament teams that she was on at Pepperdine. And now she is transferred to Norman. A valuable experience bringing to Matt Mott's team. Holtz sending it toward Morin. That one's sent ahead by Paige Califf, but it'll bound all the way back to Saki Tucci, the keeper.
And for you soccer fans out there, you may be wondering why the goalkeepers are playing with their feet more. So there's a new rule that just got placed in this year where the second that the goalkeepers pick up the ball, they have 8 seconds to release the ball. So in some of those instances, you may say, well, why are they not picking up the ball? That's because they want to try to keep the ball for as long as they can before they get that 8-second count. So you're going to see both goalkeepers tonight, if they can, they're probably going to save the ball with their feet and maybe try at the very latest to not grab the ball.
Yeah, you say, how do they know when they're in violation? Well, the center referee out there will count down the final 5 seconds toward the violation. And if there is a violation, it'll be a corner kick for the opposition. So do bear that in mind. Next set as you watch collegiate soccer. Here comes Canty trying to turn the corner on Page. And this will be a Northwestern State throw-in. Oklahoma got off to a rip-roaring start last year, 7-0-1. Had their first national ranking since 2017. But then had some bumps and bruises as they got into SEC play and qualified for the conference tournament, missing out on the NCAAs. And they certainly want to get there this year. We talked about Northwestern State as well. They won the Southland regular season title, but then lost in the conference tournament semifinals. So their motto this year is SLC ×2. In other words, first win it back-to-back years, but then win both the regular season and the conference tournament in order to move on to the big dance. Canty trying to corral it for the Sooners. That one taken away from Kate McAllister, and here come the Demons. That will work all the way back to Tuccia.
And see, if you're Northwestern there, those are the moments where you've got to be more decisive. There was a few too many touches there in the midfield. You had at least 7, 8 Sooners in your defensive third. And so that means it's going to be 1v1 on the back line. So those are the moments you have to release the ball early. You had your 2 girls up top that were just asking for the ball to get played, but they just were just a little bit too slow on that ball. If you're Northwestern, there are going to be moments where you can find that success. You just got to move that ball just a little bit quicker.
Dendis drops this one down into the Sooner half. Here comes Canty running up on it. El Canty, the sophomore. That ball deflected. So it will stay in Oklahoma's possession with the throw-in. Got to give it to the fans who have made it out here tonight in these blistering temperatures. Once we get past about 7:30, it's a little cooler. You get a little bit of relief because the sun starts to set, and they've got those giant trees along the western edge of John Crane Field to block the sun a little bit. And you can even see some of the shadows. They now cover the Northwestern State goal and are approaching about midway through this half of the field. So it's a little bit of a help. Make no mistake about it. It is scorching. Another opportunity here for the Sooners. It looks like Lexi Dendis is going to take this free kick.
And this is a weird position because it's close enough where you can shoot on goal, but it's also a little bit far enough away where you can try to chip it to the back post. I believe Dendis is probably going to try to shoot this.
Had 4 goals a season ago. Dendis drops it across. It's headed out by Kendall Hemperly of Northwestern State. Served back in by Kendall Campbell. Tuccia comes out to take it. Heavy pressure that time from Kate McAllister of Oklahoma. This ball headed wide by Kendall Campbell. Oklahoma getting 3 goals from Kayla Kiefer in the first 12 minutes of this season opener. And here is Kiefer on the ball, speeding to the edge, threatening the goal. Fultz with her left foot. It's deflected by Tuccia. What a play by the Northwestern State keeper. So that sends the counterattack the other way for Hemperly. Bangs into the Sooners' Lexi Dendis a couple of times. Sent out by Dendis. And a foul call. I believe they whistled that one against Hemperly. But what a save by Saki Tuccia.
And if you're Fultz right now, you've got to be thinking, what do I have to do? I mean, Saki has made at least 3 good saves on her now. And I mean, that one, the ball's coming across the box. I mean, she had to make a reaction save. That's probably the best save out of the 3 that she's had so far on Fultz. But Fultz is getting in those good spots. So you're getting those opportunities to find it. You just got to see if it's going to come.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to come. Alexia Adama gets dropped there. A foul called on Kendall Campbell. Kendall Campbell is one of those, she'll be required to kind of fill the role maybe that Riley Brown had at Oklahoma last year. Nick back there on the back row, a little speed, and more than anything, a veteran presence. She's played a lot of soccer at Pepperdine on those NCAA teams.
I think that was one of the things that they looked for when bringing her in was just, you had Brown who came in from Washington last year, who had pace, but she really gave the Sooners back line, who were young, gave them that leadership, and now she's coming in. You know, Lacanol and Ligon both have a year under their belt, but you're going to have that leadership in the back line, which you need when you've got a new goalkeeper.
Hydration break time, I believe, or close to it. We're going to have a substitution by Northwestern State, perhaps first. Addie Leonards will enter the lineup, and Gabriella Page is off. There's Leonards, freshman from Grand Rapids, Michigan. No hydration break just yet. Possession to Oklahoma. Mouth serving it away for Northwestern State, but Canty picks it off for the Sooners. Wide now for Campbell. Campbell drives this one toward the goal, and we'll see if Tuccia touched that or not. And the call is yes, she did, so Oklahoma gets a corner kick out of this. Tuccia says, what? I didn't touch that. Lee Durr, the referee, sees it otherwise. So another chance here, Nick, for the Sooners to use that physicality in front of goal.
And one of the things we saw a lot last year where the Sooners had a lot of corner kicks, and it was a point that Matt Mott wanted to score more on corners because of how big and athletic they are. Let's just see if they've really worked on that note all season.
Warren drives it all the way across. It goes off the head of Kendall Campbell and just wide of the goal there. So a decent look off that corner. Oklahoma's second corner kick of the night. Mass substitutions now.
Subbing on to the pitch for the Oklahoma Sooners, number 16, Ariana Ellison. Number 22, Brenna Allen.
Oklahoma with this 3-goal lead. You see Emily Davey, also Brenna Hallam, one of the freshmen. Matt Mott talking it over here with El Canty as she comes off to get a breather. So reinforcements in on the front row for Oklahoma right now. That doesn't mean they are any less dangerous. They've already posted 3 goals. Claire Curran, second season as a Sooner after transferring from Colorado. She's in there. This one comes to McAllister. And finally served out by Northwestern State's Malia Maldonado. Sullivan gets a touch. What's got to help a redshirt freshman making her first start to see that 3-0 lead that her team has gotten her, Nick?
It just gives her a little bit of confidence knowing that if she does make a mistake, you know, it's not going to affect the game that much. And so these are the kind of moments that you really want as a young goalkeeper, saying, hey, I can kind of play my style now without really having to worry about as much. And that's what helps these girls grow, is that they're getting opportunities where they're just carefree and they can go out there. It's almost like a stroll in the park.
Here's Emily Davey. Working her way up the edge, able to turn the corner on Manillo. Davey sends it across. Tuccia punches it to the backside. Chased down by Pethel for Northwestern State. But Oklahoma still pressing heavily. Sooners are relentless in this first half. Tuccia is trying to get it out of her own goal box. Nice play there by Curran, trying to stop and start. Almost was able to work her way free, but couldn't do it. But it's out of bounds off Northwestern State, and an Oklahoma corner kick from the far post.
Sooner fans get those ones in the air. It's a corner kick.
Jogging over is Lexi Dindis to take this corner kick for the Sooners, their third corner of the night. Dindis 4 goals and 4 assists a season ago. Had a game-winning goal against Florida in SEC play for the Sooners. At Middle Tennessee State 2 years ago, she was the Conference USA Freshman of the Year. Left-footed strike right in front of the goal box and hammered home. The Sooners take a 4-0 lead. Lacanol in front of the keeper, able to use her size and strength and give Oklahoma the 4-0 start.
I mean, that was just beautiful delivery. And it was just like I talked about a few seconds ago. Matt Mott was wanted to work with OU on these corners, and they looked like they got it perfectly right there. Lacanol, unmarked. I mean, she just walks the ball into the back of the net. I mean, for the SEC Freshman of the Year last year, I mean, she is really just coming into her own. And so this is going to be a moment where you got the hydration break. Is how are both teams going to react now? How are you going to go after just giving up a goal? And then what is Northwestern going to do as they come out?
The Sooners celebrating, rolling, and the Demons are looking for answers as we hit the hydration break. Already a hat trick for Kayla Kiefer. She scored in the first 4 minutes on a penalty kick, and that just got her going. She's got some assistance tonight from Narissa Foltz. A hat trick +1, and the Sooners a 4-0 lead. Welcome back to John Crane Field in Norman. Norman, home of the Sooners and home of Norman North High School. They won a state championship back in 2025 after being the state runners-up in 2024. And 4 members of that 2024 roster displayed here when they were in their Norman North days, and now on this Oklahoma Sooner roster. And you've also got El Canty, who is from Norman but played at a small school, Drew Legan, who has moved. So really you got 6 players with Norman ties on this roster. As Matt Mott said, the first thing is they're all high quality players. Very convenient to have them close to home.
I mean, and that was one of the things we spoke about when we talked to him. He really wants to try to win all the best players in the state of Oklahoma, and it looks like he's doing very well right now. I mean, he's got the talent that he wants, and like we talked about, he's building the team that he wants.
That one hits the crossbar off the foot of Foltz, then sent over the top. As Oklahoma threatened once again. That was a beautiful one-on-one move on the right flank by Claire Curran to kind of start that up, Nick.
And once again, you see Narissa Foltz at the back post, and it's one of those things like we talked about. If it's not the goalkeeper stopping the shot, it's now the post. I mean, Narissa is going to find the goal eventually. She just has to kind of calm down a little bit and say, hey, I'm getting great moments. I'm going to get my goal.
That's 3 Sooner shots that have gone either off the crossbar or the post. Here's Foltz, taken away by Kate Bauk. Out of bounds it goes, but an Oklahoma throw-in.
And you see there, it's been a few times. There's just acres of space on top of the 18. I mean, Narissa had time to touch the ball. She could receive it. She could turn. And I mean, if you're Northwestern, you've got to stay true to your game plan. You know, you want to have a possession base, you want to keep the ball, but it seems like their midfielders are getting caught out of possession because they're trying to press and trying to counter what OU is bringing at them. And so it's going to be interesting to see at halftime if there's going to be any changes made, because right now the forwards for OU are just having acres of time.
Yeah, you're right. That center area in front of the 18 box. Sooners have been open seemingly all night long there. More substitutions coming on for Oklahoma here. And I think you've basically got a fresh 10 who have come on here at some point. I think only the keeper, Callie Sullivan, she's the only one who's played the entire first half. You see some more fresh faces. Avery Brand is out there. Kiki Smith, who is healthy, missed a couple of seasons due to injury. Kiki Smith, but she'll see some time out there here in the latter stages of the first half. Ariana Ellison, New Mexico State transfer as well. Oklahoma replaces speed with more speed. Matt Mott said, we don't have one player who is not fast. And if you can be the fastest player at every position on the field, Nick, you've got a significant tactical advantage.
And that just speaks to what Coach Mott and his staff wanted to bring in. You know, we spoke about it at the beginning that they've been here for 4 years now. Now they've got the girls that they want to play this certain style. And it seems right now that it's kind of working for them, because when we spoke to Coach Matt Mott a few days ago, he said this is one of the most athletic teams he thinks he may have ever coached in his career. So that's a very high point, because he's coached for almost 30 seasons now. And so if he has that high of praise about this group, just the depth, I mean, it's going to be a fun time to watch the Sooners this year.
Northwestern State looking for some answers. Really just want to maybe try to take a little time off the clock here, get to the halftime locker room, and as you said, regroup, make a few adjustments perhaps. But Oklahoma has been suffocated. This is Sophie Manillo. Annika Sproxton. A couple of good touches for Kendall Hemperly. She's on ball right here. Couldn't get it through two Sooner defenders. Headed down by Gundon. Eatman's just a step slow. As soon as they try to pull the trigger, there's a Sooner right there on them. Finally gaining possession is Jada Tucker for Northwestern State. Riley Pottiger wanted to work that ball forward. Claire Curran took it for the Sooners.
A great ball.
And just a beautiful ball. Kaiser has it blocked away by the keeper, Tuccia. Tuccia made a good decision that time, Nick.
And that's what we talked about at the beginning. She suits the style they want to play. With her being good with her feet, she's able to kind of step up on the top of her 18, and so she's able to kind of almost play that sweeper-keeper role, which is the new style of keepers that they want to be playing.
Sweeper-keeper. And Kaiser out there for the Sooners, freshman from McAllen, Texas. This one driven wide by Kiki Smith. Davey trying to chase to it. Cut off, though, by Adema. Jada Tucker sweeps it back there to the keeper, Tuccia. Davey reaches it first for the Sooners. Trying to work it across on the ground, but taken away by Manillo. Sooners still there. Califf drops it short. Brand. And sent away by Manillo. Here's Curran again. And the header by Brand is deflected beautifully and then cleared. Sooners with another chance. Tucci has had her hands full. Though she's allowed 4 goals, she has also made 4 saves in this first half. Curran drives it forward, but Tucci springs out of the goal box to take it. Demons just having trouble finding any breathing room. Tucci nearly misplayed that one. Sooners have Kennedy Kaiser back there ready. If there's any misplay, she's going to be ready to score. Here's Gundon. Sooners all over this one. Ellison took it first.
And that right there was
beautifully done right there by Ellison.
And that right there was the difference between the Northwestern early in their game and how they're playing now. It was so much more fluent. They played the ball quicker, which allowed them to break through the press of OU. Earlier in the game, they would try to make 1 or 2 extra touches, which slowed everything down, which allowed this athletic Sooner team to get back in position. That kind of transition little style of play right there, they were playing 1-2 touch. They really tried to break them down to the counter, and that's the style that Northwestern wants to play. They've got to get back to that because, like I said, they're going to have those opportunities, but they've got to just see it an ounce quicker.
Sooners charging forward once again. Lena Hallam, though, taking off the ball. Sooners regroup quickly. Kiki Smith here. Trying to work it toward Davey. Davey circles back to take it. This is Kaiser. Beautiful play on the edge. Kaiser all the way in. Trying to work it across. It's loose. Deflected off that shot taken by Hallam. Stepping in to take it is Brand. And cleared by the Demons. This is Tucker. Just hard to connect even 2 passes for Northwestern State right now. They'll clear it out of bounds. Reset as Manillo takes a tumble. Northwestern State had Riley Stern, one of their real leaders, go down early in this game. She's not been back into the game. Another beautiful play on the edge by Kaiser. She's got space. Kaiser crosses over, tries to send one home, but it's deflected.
And that's the 2nd or 3rd time now that Kaiser has had some saucy feet just breaking down to defenders. I mean, all of these Sooner players right now are just playing a different style. They're playing with freedom, and it's really enjoyable to watch because you're seeing a lot of just free-flowing football or free-flowing soccer, however you want to look at it. And I mean, and it's so exciting to see.
When do you go soccer and when do you go football?
I have no clue. I think depends on who you ask and who you talk to.
I feel like this being a World Cup year, you hear more football.
You have heard a lot more football with it being a World Cup year, and I think that was a big, excitement for the Sooners this year and just soccer as a whole, that you had the World Cup on American soil, and so you've got a lot more fans. And so that was one of the things Matt Mott talked about, is that he has some people in Norman that are just excited to watch the season.
Absolutely. He got to go take in a couple of those matches down in Dallas as well. This header goes off the post. Just able to kind of scrape through there was Kiki Smith, and I think she got a touch on it before it was picked up by Tucci. Dangerous to play it back here inside the 18 box. The speed of this Oklahoma team, and that's what ends up happening. Give the ball up. Curran couldn't quite control it. Tucci, and that's deflected. Kennedy Kaiser has been all over the place since she came into the game, Nick.
I mean, she's had some good moves, but it goes back to just how athletic this Sooner team is. I mean, when you're replacing Kiefer and Fultz and you bring in girls like Kaiser who are just as athletic and just can continue that press, I mean, it gives the opposition no chance to breathe.
20 Sooner position players have played in the first half, plus the keeper, Callie Sullivan. That's Sadie Sturbins, Middle Tennessee State transfer, getting some time on the Oklahoma back line right now. Aisha Rollins out of there for Northwestern State. Demons just trying to put together something. Bonnie Miller gets cut off, though. Out of bounds off Miller. Claire Curran making some good use of her playing time out there for the Sooners. Wearing number 30 in white. San Diego native in her second year as a Sooner. There she is. She had a goal in Oklahoma's season opening win last year. Sooners started 7-0-1 last year. They had 8 home wins, which matched a program record. And they scored a program record 116 points. Out of bounds. Corner kick for Oklahoma. It'll be number 5 in the first half.
A little bit unlucky there if you're Northwestern. They thought that deflection was on the Sooners, and so that's why you see her try to shield the ball there. But for the Sooners, this is a good opportunity to get another chance to show off your height and athleticism on this corner kick.
They scored on a corner. Goal number 4 was corner kick by Dendis, and Allie Lacanol was able to put it home right in front of the goal. Kick number 5 floats high into the air. Tuccia got a fist on it to punch it away. Northwestern State will get a throw in. Under 4 minutes to go. A hat trick in the first half for Kayla Kiefer of Oklahoma. She scored on a penalty kick in the 4th minute. Then in the 9th minute, assisted by Narissa Fultz. And then she scored again in the 12th minute. A hat trick in the first 12 minutes of the night. That ball is going to stay in bounds. Sooners will just drop it out. Natalie Hofer over to play it away. See the physicality of Brenna Hallam. Physical freshman. Scored in one of Oklahoma's exhibition matches in the preseason. Brenna Hallam's about 5'10" out of Colorado Springs. Good size back there on the back. And Callie Sullivan just going to let some time roll off. About 2.5 minutes to go. The redshirt freshman keeper winning that battle. Oklahoma's got several others. As Matt Mott referred to it, they have positional depth at the keeper position. Competitive depth is what Brent Venables, Oklahoma football coach, likes to talk about. Matt Mott said, I will certainly take that at the keeper spot. Competitive depth. But it was Callie Sullivan who had a great spring that rolled into summer, winning that position battle, replacing Caroline Duffy. No more Duffy's Kingdom here at John Crane Field, Nick.
And I mean, and that was one of the biggest asking points for the Sooners over the summer is who's going to take that spot coming into the season? Who is really going to solidify themselves as number 1? And, you know, when you speak to Coach Matt Mott, he's been with his goalkeeping coach, Warren Russ, for quite a few years now. And, you know, he said that Warren has got his hands full with just how well their keeper room was. And so they were really excited, and they said that Callie was just had a great summer, and they really proved herself that she should have that starting spot. And then once she grabbed it, she never let go.
Avery Brand couldn't quite come out of the pack with it there. With under a minute to go here in the opening half. This is one of 12 games involving SEC foes tonight.
1 minute remaining.
There is one top 25 versus top 25 matchup, LSU and Wake Forest, and then Georgia is going to start tomorrow night at Illinois. More Sooner pressing. This is Kaiser trying to work it forward and sprawling out to take it away from the foot of Hallam comes the keeper Tuccia.
And I've been really impressed with Kaiser since she's came on. She's just had some great footwork, putting herself in great position. I mean, that was a great ball there, a little bit unlucky on the heavy touch, but Kaiser has really impressed me in her first Sooner start.
10, 9, 8, 7.
Well, Oklahoma impressive. The Sooners tally 4 times in the first half against the reigning champions of the Southland Conference. And it is 4-0 Matt Mott's squad at intermission at John Crane Field. Could not have asked for much more if you're the Sooners, could you, Nick?
No, I mean, I think this is the perfect start, and I think this is something that the Sooners wanted to start out strong.
The Demons rolling up from Louisiana, ready for battle. But the Sooners took the air out of the building early. A hat trick in the first half from Kayla Kiefer. And another goal by Allie Lacanol right there. 4-0 Sooners at the break in Norman. For Allie Lacanol had the other goal for the Sooners. 7 goals last year for Kayla Kiefer, 3 in the first half tonight. First one came on a penalty kick. Assists for Lexi Dendis on a corner kick. Narissa Fultz had a pair of assists. And El Canty also got into the mix with an assist. There were 21 players who played in the first half, showcasing the depth that Matt Mott and the Sooners have. And it looks like going to have a, thought we were going to have a little change for the Sooners back there, but we will not. Kayla Kiefer's ready to roll. Kayla Kiefer spent the season at Ole Miss, scored 5 goals, including one against Oklahoma. That was 2 years ago. Then last year led the Sooners with 7 goals and 8 assists. And already 3 goals tonight to start 2026. We are underway with half number 2. If you're Oklahoma, can you maintain the press and the pace and continue to put it in the back of the net like they have, Nick?
I think you can with the fact that you just said they played 21 players in the first half. I mean, so a lot of your starters got, their 15, 20 minutes in, but then they got a well-deserved rest. And so a lot of these girls who have been playing and they've been training for a few months now are probably got that energy in the tank to go, for 90 minutes. So I expect this press in the first half to really, or the second half to really continue, just like it was in the first half.
The redshirt freshman keeper Callie Sullivan not tested a good deal. Made 1 save in the first half at Northwestern State, just unable to threaten very often. And so the debut of Callie Sullivan has gone very well, though not tested much. Demons want to try to keep possession a little bit more. Challenging, as you already see against Oklahoma. Man, that is just difficult to get it out of your own goal box. Baumgartner trying to get it away. That one dropped along the ground. It's loose out front and a goal. Kate McAllister, the freshman, with her first goal as an Oklahoma Sooner. That ball just trickled out in front on the save by Tuccia, and McAllister opportunistically drops in her first Sooner goal.
And you see here in the buildup, Northwestern was trying to play out at the back. They made a good first touch here, and that's the pass that they're looking for. But the problem is Northwestern wasn't ready for that pass because they're used to just playing the ball out. And so now you see the ball go across the box. A little bit unfortunate there for Saki not to hold the ball, but then you just see McAllister being in the right moment at the right time and getting her first goal as a Sooner.
It was Lexi Dendis who snuck in there and stole that ball on the attempted clearance, created first goal for Kate McAllister. 5-0 Sooners now, looking for more. Here's McAllister. Fultz, a couple of assists in the first half, sends it across. Kiefer heads it just over the crossbar. Now, new in collegiate soccer this year, in games where the goal differential is 5 or more in the second half, the clock will run continuously. That'll be the state as long as it remains 5 goals or more in favor. Not that it stops a good deal, but substitutions and other points during the game, it will run continuously with a 5-goal differential. Served back into the Northwestern State end. Almost a little miscommunication there, but looks like Manillo is going to be able to clear it away for a moment. Sooners take it away. Fultz. I feel like Fultz is due to score a goal in this game, Nick.
I mean, she's getting in the right opportunities in the right spaces. It's almost like she's a bit nervous. You know, this is her first start for the Sooners, and so her touch is being a little bit heavy at times. And so I expect her to score, but she's just got to kind of play with that freedom like we spoke about in the first half. She's just almost a little bit stiff at the moment.
Trying to work this ball for Canty, but she slipped down. Back to circle to it is Pethel for Northwestern State. And the Sooners will get a corner kick. Corner kick number 6 on the night. There's El Canty, a sophomore from Norman Community Christian School. Scored 2 goals a season ago. Moved her a little bit more out here to this right side this year to make her more dangerous.
You know, and that's what she played in high school. She scored 105 goals in her high school career, and so Matt Mott really speaks highly of her, that she can just play anywhere across that midfield, and so it gets her a little bit more freedom and uses her pace, which they really love.
Dentis takes the corner. Headed by Campbell and cleared by the Demons. That'll be an Oklahoma throw-in. Sooners will stay in the Southland Conference for their opponent coming up on Sunday. And they'll take on East Texas A&M on the road. A 7 o'clock start. Northwestern State, the preseason pick to win the Southland. East Texas State, pick number 2 in that league. Here's Fultz, just inside the 18. Just kind of lost it. Little entanglement there. Legan went down. Sooners take a quick free kick. Dentis is ready to go. Serves it across to the foot of Fultz, but she couldn't control it. Good to see that Riley Stern is back out there for Northwestern State. She had to come off early in the first half with injury, but it's like she's back out there, able to go. That'll be out of bounds off the Sooners. Ariana Ellison. There is Riley Stern. First team All Southland Conference a year ago. Program record 9 assists for her. There's Stern.
And these are the moments where Northwestern has to capitalize. They've got a little bit of possession, but they've got to keep possession, and that's the problem that they're having. They're a possession-based team, but they're just giving the ball up too cheaply.
Held possession on about 63% of their minutes played last year. Certainly hasn't been the case here tonight. This is Allie Lackinold. She had a goal in the first half. Scored off a corner kick from Lexi Dentis. Charging toward goal is Campbell. And she'll play it back to Sooner keeper Callie Sullivan. That's a foul against Campbell. She drops Adema down to the turf. Kendall Campbell, no substitute for experience. 3 years on NCAA tournament teams at Pepperdine. Was a little bit nicked in the early going of camp, but she's the starter at right back for the Sooners tonight. Originally out of Palmdale, California.
that's probably her first mistake that she's made all game. She's had a great game, just a little bit unfortunate there, trying to apply too much pressure there, gives up the foul. And if you're Northwestern here, these are the moments where you've got to capitalize. It's your first real chance to have an attacking threat on goal.
Kate Bauk takes this one in front of the Oklahoma goal box where it's headed away. Out it comes for Fultz. Fultz and Canty able to connect. Sooners mount a counterattack. Canty just beats the defender. Manillo one-on-one. Got an injured Demon backside of this. It's Bauk who took the free kick. She is hobbling back toward the run of play. Canty. That one sails over the crossbar. We'll see if they get somebody out there for Bauk, if she's going to stay out, but not full strength right now. So they'll stop the clock to check on the transfer from Northern Arizona. 16 games last year, scored a goal. Northwestern State recorded 9 shutouts last year. As we said, they had the Southland Defensive Player of the Year, Jessica Spitzer. Bauk unable to continue, so they will get a substitute out there. Looks like Jada Tucker, the freshman from Ottawa, Ontario, will report for duty. About 440 miles between Norman, Oklahoma and Natchitoches, Louisiana. 6.5 hour ride. Got a Sooner down to one knee on the backside of this. It's Kate McAllister who just scored the goal. Trying to turn and go. It's Gundon, but she's surrounded. Northwestern State will keep possession. I think what happened there, she was kind of trailing a play, and a Northwestern player who was on the ball just kind of took off and flailed her arms into the air and maybe caught McAllister up around the face. But she's going to get some assistance here from Grace Baker, Sooner trainer. Maybe we can get a better look. Matt Mott's kind of able to at least grin about it. Doesn't look too concerned. You go right here.
Looks like she got her arm caught there, the sleeve. So maybe a shoulder potentially.
She'll come off in favor now of Isabella Martinez, sophomore from Keller, Texas. Martinez had a redshirt year last year, but has always wanted to be an Oklahoma Sooner. School of her dreams, and she spent a little time with some of the younger Mexican national teams, as Isabella Martinez. So she'll get some run here. Certainly hope that Kate McAllister is all right. About 8.5 minutes into the second half, Oklahoma got 4 first-half goals, including a hat trick from Kayla Kiefer. Kate McAllister has added a second-half goal in the 47th minute. Kiefer just bulldozing her way toward the goal there. A little over-aggressive. They charge her with the 4th Oklahoma foul of the night. That's one of those fouls of aggression. You don't mind that sometimes, right, Nick?
Oh, no. If you're a coach, that's the kind of fouls you want to give up almost. You're doing your style of play, so you're really pressing high. You're trying to catch the opponent in just in a bad situation. I mean, but that's Kiefer. That's how she plays. She's always going to play on the front foot. When you ask any of the Sooner players who's the most aggressive, who's the most passionate, they always point to Kiefer. So that's her game, and you need that if you have a winning team.
Dendis wins that ball for Oklahoma. Kiefer trying to get to it. Dendis deflects that one. Finally cleared out by Northwestern State. This is Sophie Manillo. She's been in the middle of the action defensively for Northwestern State tonight.
And right there, you see the biggest difference between how a normal team would play and how Northwestern wants to play. So most teams right there back in their defensive third, they would just want to get the ball out for a throw-in. But you see there, Manilo stands on the ball, and she kind of wants to have that pressure come at her a little bit. So that's that possession-based style that they're trying to keep.
Early substitution here, El Canty over to the sideline for Oklahoma, and we see Allie Guthrie, the freshman from Plano, Texas, sophomore, beg your pardon, from Plano, Texas, in. She saw some playing time last year. Corner kick coming from the dangerous Sophie Morin. Oklahoma has scored on a corner tonight. Morin, native Cheshire, England, sends it across with her right foot. Headed down by Lacanol, who scored earlier. This comes out to the foot of Emily Gundon, Northwestern State, but the Sooners quickly take it away. Wide it comes for the just checked in Guthrie. Knocked out of bounds away from her. That's Emma Petfel, two-year starter, second team All-Southland last year. Out of Canton, Georgia. She's kind of a rock back there defensively. Denver works it back out high. Campbell sends it all the way across. Here's Dendis. Gains the edge, threatens the goal, sends it across, and just wide it goes. Sooners close to goal number 6.
That was one of the things Matt talked about, is that they want to get Dendis a little bit more attacking this year. She's so capable of finding those moments. She has a beautiful cross, and you've seen it quite a few times this game where she has beat her defender and played those balls beautifully across the box.
Dendis able to assist earlier on a corner kick. Let's look at what you were talking about a moment ago, Nick.
I mean, she does a beautiful first touch, and right there she hesitates, boom. That first touch and that explosion there is giving her so many opportunities. Sooners really unfortunate not to get a goal out of that one.
Guthrie, beautiful one touch. Kiefer drives it and scores again. Have a night, Kayla Kiefer. 4 goals on the night. Sooners lead 6-0. That's an and one. A hat trick and one for Kayla Kiefer, and it's the first 4-goal game in Oklahoma Sooner history. And what a way to start the season.
I don't want to take anything away from Kiefer here, but the pass from Guthrie was just world class. Little touch there, and boom, that little outside of the foot dink, and then once again, Kiefer just off the volley, not taking a touch, just sliding it right past the goalkeeper. I mean, that is beautiful build-up play, and that's exactly what you want to see with your striker in form right now. And 4 goals, I mean, are all totally well-deserved.
Just as you said, how about Guthrie just into the game for a couple of minutes? Now it looks like Kiefer may get the rest of the night off. Well-deserved. Take a break. But what a start.
And that's going to be one of my things going into the later stages of this game is, you know, you want your forwards to find goals. And so you've got Kiefer with 4 goals right now, and now you see that Narissa Foltz is still up top. I think Coach Matt Mott is saying, hey, you've had plenty of opportunities. We've got to get you one before we kind of give you your well-deserved rest. And so it's going to be interesting to see how long Foltz is going to be in the game.
Beautiful assist there for Guthrie. Obviously her first of the year. First of her Sooner career for Allie Guthrie. And here she runs to it again. Serves it up high, punched wide by Tuccia. The backside it comes. Dendis right in the middle. Foltz couldn't get free, and Guthrie sends it just wide. Opportunistic. She was trying to just creep it inside that left post.
I mean, this is fun to watch right now. The Sooners are just firing on all cylinders. It seems like every pass they're making is correct. Every touch they're making is correct. I mean, it's just beautiful to watch.
Down goes Brenna Hallam. And is Oklahoma maybe going to challenge whether or not that was a foul inside? Matt Mott, I think, is saying he wants to challenge that. But did they get the challenge called quickly enough? And you can challenge a play like that, whether it is or is not a foul inside the 18 box, Nick.
Yeah, so what's going to happen is I believe we did see Matt Mott look for the challenge. So what's going to happen is once the ball gets out or once there's a stoppage in play, that's when they're going to review that challenge. So with soccer, you don't want to just disrupt the play. You don't want to disrupt the game. And so whenever that ball goes out, whenever you see a stoppage in play, that's when they're going to have that look. It looked like he was making an indication there that they really wanted to look at that. It looked like she did get clipped a little bit, and so I'd be interested to see with the slow-mo how it looked.
Here's Foltz, strikes it with her left foot and scores again. Narissa Foltz piling it on for the Sooners, who take a 7-0 lead. She's been lurking all night and oh so close, and she finally gets her first Oklahoma Sooner goal.
I mean, if you're Foltz, that's probably your toughest shot of the night, and you made it look like it's your easiest. I mean, she takes a beautiful touch here, and boom, with her left foot across her body. I mean, keeper had no chance. I mean, that is just a beautiful goal, and it's been coming for Foltz.
That it has. She has had a couple of assists on the night. First goal for Narissa Foltz as an Oklahoma Sooner. 2 years at Arizona, 6 goals as a Wildcat, now an Oklahoma Sooner, and back home in Norman, where she played at Norman North High School. She was the 2023 Oklahoma High School Gatorade Player of the Year. Of course, went to Arizona out of high school for 2 years, and Matt Mott said when that name popped into the transfer portal, it took me maybe a little over a second to make that call. They are thrilled to have Narissa Foltz. She's made a difference here on opening night. 7-0 Oklahoma.
You know, we talked about it a little bit earlier that you've got a bunch of these Norman girls, and the majority of them play for Norman North. And when you speak to their head coach, Trevor LaFoon at Norman North, he said that Narissa is one of the best players that he's ever coached, and he was just really excited to have her be on the Sooner team this year, and he's really expecting big things. And Narissa just plays with the style that she may not be overly flashy, but when she's in front of goal, she just seems to find the ball in the back of the net, and they're really expecting big things out of Narissa Foltz this year.
May not be flashy, but she certainly does shine. She has done that here in her first appearance in an Oklahoma Sooner uniform. Under 29 minutes to go. That cleared out of bounds. Northwestern State just looking to find a little bit of momentum, which has been super hard to come by. Foltz is one of the 8 newcomers transferring in. This ball dropped over the top toward Foltz. She'll reach it first. And just bumped out of bounds. Another Oklahoma corner kick. This will be number 9.
And once again, that was just a beautiful delivery there by Dinda. She plays that ball over the top. I mean, they speak so highly of her ability to play the ball in. And that's why this coaching staff at the Sooners really want her to push forward a little bit, because she has such a good ability to do that.
It's a role that Oklahoma has had such a good player the last couple of years in Alexis Washington, who has been kind of that player to get wide and drop off assists. Oklahoma's all-time assist leader, Washington. Don't necessarily just replace her with one player, but they have multiples that they feel like can be that distributor. Here's Paige Califf, who is one of those. Takes a left-footed corner kick from the near post. That ball just does bound wide. Goal kick here for Northwestern State. Tough night for Saki Tuccia in her debut in goal for the Demons. She's made some excellent saves, but has just had her hands full. Like right here, the strike by Hallam, and Brenna Hallam has her first goal as an Oklahoma Sooner. the freshman from Colorado Springs, tallies the 8th Oklahoma goal of opening night.
And once again, it's Northwestern trying to play out of the press. And you see there, the ball gets played. I mean, it's just a little bit heavy, and she just intercepted. And right there, just no pressure. I mean, Saki's caught no man's land. And that's a beautiful finish, because when you're in those moments, you can really just mess that up. I mean, if you ask any striker, those are probably the hardest goals to score, because you're expected to score those goals. And so she had a beautiful finish right there. And I mean, and that just speaks, the Sooners are pressing, and it doesn't matter who they bring on the game right now. It seems like they're going to find goals.
It's like sharks smelling blood in the water. 3 of the 8 goals scored by newcomers. McAllister, Fultz, now Hallam for Oklahoma tonight. Eight goals ties an Oklahoma Sooner program record. So if they were to score 1 more, that would set a new mark. This is a nice bounce scoop save by new keeper Kenzie Klaus, also from Norman North. Freshman, won a 6A state title there, you mentioned, for Trevor LaFoon in 2025. And she's getting some runs. So 2 former Norman North goalies in goal tonight for Oklahoma.
I mean, what a blessing to have. You've got 1 starter, and then your next girl is another Norman North girl. I mean, he must be living his best life as a coach right now.
And the Sooners have a couple of other keepers. Addison Tauscher, who's a transfer from Kansas, and Mochisola Iodele, transferred from NJIT. Love the spirit of competition at that spot. They have certainly recruited to that competitive depth.
You know, and that was one of the things we spoke about, that how do you replace Duffy? How do you replace someone who's been a 2-year starter who, I mean, we had Duffy's Kingdom here at OU for a while. And so, you know, one of the jobs that Warren Russ had, the goalkeeping coach for the Sooners, was he had to build that goalkeeping room back up. And he is super excited about his 4 goalkeepers he has. And he says that every day it's a battle and every day it's competition.
Free kick here coming for the Sooners. So you see Sullivan, who started, and also Iodele over there. It looks like Paige Califf, the Cal State Northridge transfer, will take this free kick. You putting this right on goal, Nick, if you're Califf?
I mean, why not? With the success the Sooners had, give it a shot.
She does drive it right at Tuchia, who makes a very good save, and I'm afraid may have run into the post making that save, Nick.
I mean, that was a tremendous diving save. I mean, that ball was hit with pace. It was hit with power. I mean, Califf had a great shot there. I mean, but Suki really had to put her body on the line, and I think she may have hit the post.
So the trainer, Grace Hatch, is going to run out and have a look at Saki Tuchia. Good strike from Paige Califf. That looks like cramp.
Hopefully that's just all it is, and hopefully she didn't hit the post.
Well, it's cooled off considerably, obviously, as the sun has gone down. We'll get a look at this off the free kick from Paige Califf.
Yeah, it looks like just when she dove there, I mean, she had to make a beautiful diving save, and so it looks like she may have just jumped a little bit too hard.
It's kind of rolled back up into the post, but it didn't look like that's what did the damage.
I mean, one of the things we spoke with both coaching staff is when these early season games, you just want to keep everyone healthy. And so you saw that anytime someone's had a little nick or a little bump, that they've been replacing them, because both of these coaches are saying, hey, it's going to be great to win games, but we've got to worry about our conference. We've got to worry about our conference play, and so that's where their goal is. They're trying to stay healthy with both staffs here.
Matt Mott is going to challenge his team with a tough regular season schedule. They'll have Bedlam coming up in Stillwater, Patterson Stadium up there on August 20th. Then they will face Tulsa here in Norman, Colorado College as well, at Oral Roberts. And then an interesting weekend where they go down to Denton and take on an always good North Texas program. And then they go out to Provo, Utah with 1 day in between those games from Denton to Provo, and they'll play at BYU on September the 5th. And then you hop right into SEC action with very good ranked teams, Georgia, Alabama, Arkansas. Tough schedule. Maybe as challenging, Matt Mott said, as he's ever played. This one served back into the middle of the 18 box, getting a hand on it. Fultz, and it's into the back of the net. Sooners take a 9-0 lead. Clearance never happened for Northwestern State, and the Sooners are able to take advantage of it.
And that one, when you see that goal back, it's a little bit unfortunate there. Beautiful ball out, and just the first time cross. And you see here, Saki just doesn't know how close she is to the post, and so she's a little bit worried that she's going to run into the post coming off that little bump that she just had. And so, but you can't take anything away from that header. I mean, you put the header in a spot that you're in no man's land. And like we said, a little bit unfortunate there for Saki. The ball kind of hits off her hands, then to her face. And so, but I mean, either way, if you're a Sooner right now, you've got to shoot on goal because you don't know what's going to happen. And everything seems to be going in the back of the net.
So Isabella Martinez scores that, and Oklahoma has set a new program record with 9 goals on the night. It is the first career goal for Isabella Martinez. She's the 4th new goal scorer for Oklahoma tonight. And a 9-0 lead.
Oklahoma goal assisted by number 2, Califf.
Give Paige Califf an assist on that. Here's Califf in the center of the field. Sooners going to conserve a little time here. But up the right flank again comes Guthrie. And that ball went out of bounds. 9-0 Oklahoma. 4 goals by Kayla Kiefer, Kate McAllister, Marissa Fultz, Brenna Hallam, and Isabella Martinez have also scored. Allie Lacanol scored a goal in the first half. Oklahoma scored in the first 4 minutes. They have just continued to pile them up. 5 goals in the second half to set this program record. They have outshot Northwestern State 23-2. But as we saw, they substitute their starters and they bring in more speed and athleticism. So there's no let up.
I mean, what a blessing for Coach Matt Mott and his coaching staff. I mean, this is just the perfect start. I mean, anyone you bring into the game right now is having success. They're controlling the ball. They're playing their style. And it just speaks to how deep this Sooner team is, that when you bring someone off the bench, you kind of expect the play to drop a little bit. But right now, the play is staying the exact same. They're pressing. They're having that style. And it just goes back to like what we talked about. Coach Matt Mott and his coaching staff have been here for 4 years. Now they have the ability to build the team they wanted. You know, when we spoke to him, he really talked about how he feels like he's got the right group of girls now that they can play the way they want, and they can play it no matter who they have on the field.
And that's the first thing. When Matt Mott set foot on campus, Joe Castiglione hiring him away from Ole Miss, and he said, we recruit our style. Is it, you know, love to have top 20, top 50 players in the country, but they need to fit your style of play in order for them to really fit in and accomplish what you want to accomplish. Now he's got this roster shaped the way that he wants it.
And when you coach soccer, it's different than coaching any other sport, because you can go into maybe basketball and have that one all-star player, and you can kind of build your offense around that. But with soccer, just with every style is different, and we see it with Northwestern in their possession style. You have to have your certain type of players. You know, really good athletes may not work in a possession-based style because they want to go forward, but if you want to try to keep the ball, then it just kind of goes against what you want to do. And so you give teams time to build what they want. I always say you've got to judge a coach by after their first or second year because they've had that time to bring their people, bring their style, and then really see how well their teams can do.
And both these coaches in year number 4, finding success. Oklahoma has had back-to-back seasons of 10 or more wins, as has Northwestern State. Out of the pack for the Demons is Addie Linhertz. This is Alexia Adama. There's no consistent forward offensive momentum for Northwestern State tonight. I think they'll call a foul there on Curran. Five fouls apiece. And if you're Northwestern State, you want to try to take advantage of this. Emily Gundon will take it. 4th-year player. 49th career game as a Demon for her tonight. Top of the 18 box. Back out it comes. Manillo able to keep possession for Northwestern State. Looks like we'll have hydration break time with a little under 19 minutes to go in a record-breaking night for Oklahoma Sooner soccer. First, it's Kayla Kiefer. She has tallied the first 4-goal game in Oklahoma Sooner program history with that one right there. And 9 goals scored on the night. This one by Isabella Martinez, number 9, a new program record. 9-0 Sooners with under 19 to play on. Well, tough night for Northwestern State. Ian Brophy and the Demons. The preseason pick to win the Southland Conference. No doubt better days. And they will rest a little easier on the road back to Natchitoches. So this is a 28-bed sleeper bus, Nick, to make the 6.5-hour road trip quite comfortable, in fact.
I mean, when they had mentioned this is the first time I'd ever seen that. I mean, that is just, if you're going to ride, why not ride in style? That's the way to do it right there.
Plenty of snacks for the ride. I don't know. How would you feel about that top bunk? All the way up at the top?
I mean, maybe
for that?
Maybe if it was like an hour or two, but definitely not 6.5. I don't think I could do it.
6.5 hours, 440 miles. And not the first road game, though, or not the last road game. They will play at LSU, at Houston, at Lafayette, at Alcorn State. Hop into Southland play, where they're the preseason pick to win the league. They won the regular season title last year, but lost in the conference tournament semis. Martinez chases this one down for the Sooners, but gathered in by Adama. Adama mounts the counterattack for Northwestern State. Claire Curran comes in and takes it. Just wrestled that ball away from Gundon. Avery Brand in there for the Sooners, wearing number 10, freshman from Parker, Colorado. Everybody who is on the roster and healthy to play, other than a couple of the goalkeepers, has been out there for Oklahoma tonight. And in both halves, really, Oklahoma played 21 players in the first half.
I mean, if you're Coach Matt Mott and his staff, you could not have dreamed of a better start. I mean, you've got goals from your strikers. You've got goals from your midfielders. You got to play basically your whole entire team. I mean, this is the perfect start for the Sooners this year.
Seeing Allie Coffey, another of those Norman North players, seeing her first playing time here. Coffee is on the receiving end potentially of this one, but it's knocked down, cleared by Pethel. Good run up that left sideline. Kennedy Kaiser. Kennedy Kaiser's looked good when she's been in there. You can see some of that speed she has on the edge, Nick.
I mean, she's got that speed, but one of the things that I think is separating her apart right now is she is just fancy footwork. I mean, the way that she's dribbling the ball, it is like she's just attached to her foot. It's almost like it's on a string. I mean, she is just taking touches, beating girls 1v1. I mean, she's playing with such freedom right now. It's really a joy to watch.
Season opening opponent that certainly had Oklahoma's full attention, winning their league last year. As Claire Curran serves this one in. There's Martinez, who scored a short time ago. And that'll be a foul and a yellow assessed to Claire Curran of Oklahoma. I think she earned that one. A couple of grabs and a tug.
And we spoke about it earlier with Kiefer. Those are the kind of fouls you wanted out of Kiefer. You know, she's really playing aggressive, and she's really playing the style they want to play. If you're Coach Matt Mott, that's the foul that you don't want to give up because you got beat because you were trying to keep the ball a little bit too much, and then she goes and kind of tugs on the shirt. So those are one of the ones that Matt Mott's going to be like, those are the things we've got to clean up. I mean, we've had a beautiful game so far, and that's really the one mistake that you're like, man, we're up 9-0. If you do get beat, if you do have a moment where things don't go your way, hey, let it play out. You're up 9-0. It's not going to affect the game. And that's one of those things that if you can kind of clean up those, it's going to help you in the long run.
Sooners press forward again. That one just skims past Coffee. Northwestern State able to clear it. Last year's season opener, Northwestern State went on the road to Austin, Texas, and beat number 19 Texas, first ever ranked win. And that was not the first thing Matt Mott, we talked to him a couple of days ago about that. He said, oh yes, they have our full attention. All you have to do is say they beat Texas. First top 25 win in program history. Different story in Norman tonight. Oklahoma scored 3 times in the first 12 minutes. They got a hat trick in the first half from Kayla Kiefer. She added another goal in the second half, the first 4-goal game in Oklahoma Sooner history. 9 goals, the most ever scored by an Oklahoma soccer club. Sooners have switched goalies again. Mojisola Ayodele is back there, the NJIT transfer. They also have Addison Tosher, who's been a little bit nicked up. They'll have her back in the not-too-distant future. So 4 available keepers when they are all healthy. 3 of them tonight, and all 3 have played. Callie Sullivan got the start. We saw Kinsey Klaus come on for about the first half of the second half. And now Mojisola Ayodele back in goal for Oklahoma. Sooner keepers have not been threatened much tonight. Emily Davey working this one out wide. Kaiser toward the goal, and sprawling out once again is Tuccia. Continuous running clock with this goal differential, so substitutions and fouls and setups where you might see the clock stop, it will not. You said it earlier, Nick, just important for both teams, get out healthy.
Yeah, in the winning moments of this game, you're kind of just saying, hey, how can we make sure we get some girls some much needed playing time, but how can we also stay healthy? I mean, those are the 2 big things I think both coaches are looking for right now. You know, these are moments where you can try something different. You know, you can try a player who maybe's been really impressive in practice and say, you know what, let's give you some run to see if it was just a good practice day, or can you really relate that back to the field. And so that's why you've seen a lot of these substitutions late in the second half. It's because they're giving people opportunity to say, hey, can we use you for this long season? I mean, this is game 1. And so it's like, hey, how can we build a team where we have that depth? And, you know, you saw with the Sooners playing almost every single player on their staff, and you've got a lot for Northwestern as well. And so it's really fun to see players who may not have been getting a lot of minutes have their opportunity to shine in this game.
Crowd hanging in there with this game despite the sweltering temperatures. They've enjoyed 9 Oklahoma Sooner goals tonight. And that foul's going to be on Fernando Dantas, who's into the game. Tangled up with Gundon. 6 fouls against each team in this one.
I mean, what a way to reward these fans for coming out to this hot game.
Yeah.
You've got multiple records broken today. I mean, if you're a fan, you're like, yes, it was hot, but I got to see Sooner history. I mean, you can't beat games like that.
Ten minutes to go on opening night. The only thing hotter than the weather has been the Oklahoma offense in this one. There's Idele getting a chance to get her hands on it. Redshirt senior, transfer from NJIT. She had a redshirt year back in 2022. Headed over the top of the goal here. There's Coffee, one of those Norman North products, coming close to her first goal as a Sooner. Said she's always wanted to play at the University of Oklahoma, and this place has always been a second home for her.
I mean, growing up in Norman, I mean, what else is the dream? Getting to play for the college that it's in your hometown. And it's not like it's a small mom and pop college. I mean, this is one of the top powerhouse, Power 4 schools in the nation. And being able to do that, not a lot of people can say they have.
Matt Mott's talked about the closeness of this team. Their team leaders organized a little trip to Lake Eufaula. And it was completely player-driven. No coaches allowed. They booked the Airbnb, got it all settled. And Matt Mott said, you should have told me about it. I would have rented a boat, taken everybody out. But players only, and you love it when events like that are player-driven.
And that was one of the things that Coach Mott talked about. He's like, I didn't have to do any of that. The players did it, and that just builds unity with the team, and that just speaks so highly of the Sooner team.
Emily Davey takes this free kick. That's going to clatter off the foot of Avery Brand for a goal kick for Northwestern State. The last couple of substitutions here.
Subbing onto the pitch for Northwestern State, number 16, Tiana Cruz.
Tiana Cruz, a redshirt sophomore from Woodbridge, Virginia, is in. And Emily Gundon, senior, looks like her night is done. Northwestern State will regroup. They'll go through the rigors of that tough schedule. As we said, Sunday they'll be down in Baton Rouge to take on LSU. And then at Houston 4 days later. No foul there at midfield as Kennedy Kaiser went down, tangled up with Manillo. They'll just play on. Vanderbilt, the preseason pick to win the SEC. They won the conference tournament last year, made it all the way to the Elite Eight. Arkansas, Georgia, Tennessee, and LSU picked in the top 5. Oklahoma on opening night may have served a little bit of notice. There's plenty of firepower in Norman, Oklahoma. They were picked 10th in the preseason poll. That's going to roll out of bounds off of Aisha Rollins. Oklahoma really using a little more possession time here, Nick, the last 10 or 15 minutes. Just trying to take a little time off.
You're trying to wean the clock down a little bit because you know the game is kind of in your hands, but I think it's also a tactic that the Sooners are trying to do. They know they can go forward. They know they can press. They know that they can almost be an athlete with any team that they play. But it's good for a team to know they can also keep the ball as well, which is what they're doing. It's not like they're just going away from their style, but they're trying to say, hey, we're a multi-dimensional team. If you want us to possess, we can possess. If you want us to attack, we can attack. And so it's very useful in these last moments that Coach Matt Mott is saying, hey, can we keep the ball a little bit? Can we show them something a little bit different that teams may not expect from us?
Free kick time for the Demons. This one struck by Bonnie Miller. And Mojisolu Ayodele able to pluck that one out of the sky. Been able to get into the action a couple of times. Pressing quite like they were earlier in the game. It was Oklahoma's press in the early going, creating 3 goals in the first 12 minutes. With under 4 minutes to go, Ayodele comes out to scoop that one up.
And that's how Northwestern was hoping to play. You saw there, they kept possession, they swung it across, and they broke the lines. They kind of broke that pressure. That's what they were trying to do the whole game. But as the game kind of went on, Sooners press just kind of went back a little bit, and so now they've had a little bit more success, but that's what their style wants. And it's really great to see that even though they are on the losing end of this game, they're still trying to play their style. And that's what we talked about when you have a coaching staff who brings in your certain type of players. It doesn't matter if you're 100 up or 1 up. You still want to try to coach that style because that's how you're going to play. And so it's good to see now that they're still doing it and it's working and it's having a little bit of success in the later half of this game.
Northwestern State's played without Hosen Suku, who's unavailable tonight. Veteran forward, scored 6 goals for them last year. Oklahoma's been healthy through training camp and obviously through this opener. 2.5 minutes to go now. 4 first-half goals, 5 more in the second half. Last goal came in the 67th minute. This one long decided. Oklahoma's been very good last 3 years in non-conference play. They've only had 1 defeat and 1 tie. That run of wins will continue with the program record 9 goals tonight. Oklahoma intercepting. This is Kaiser. And Oklahoma with yet another corner kick. This will be number 10 on the night for the Sooners. Kaiser has threatened multiple times. And Allie Guthrie's going to come back on, replacing Isabella Martinez here for the final couple of moments. Fernanda Dantas takes this Oklahoma corner kick. Dantas hits it. Out top it comes. And out of the scrum emerges Rollins for Northwestern State.
And one of the different changes you see this year, in previous years, you would have had your throw in, it would have ate up the rest of this clock. But now with the new rules, you've only got a certain amount of time to get that ball in. And so even though the game is in the dying moments, you're still going to see that action being played based off these new rules that they have with competitive soccer.
Final 10 seconds of a record-breaking night in the opener for the Oklahoma Sooners for 2026. Oklahoma wins 9-0 over Northwestern State. It was all Sooners from the get-go. 3 goals in the first 12 minutes. En route to 9, a new program record, and a 4-goal night for Kayla Kiefer. Couldn't ask for a better start if you're Matt Mott and the Sooners, Nick McMillan.
I mean, these are the starts that you dream of. I mean, you get your first home win, you get multiple goal scorers, you break multiple records. I mean, Matt Mott has got to be living his best life right now.
Matt Mott saying thanks to the referees in charge tonight, but his team, they had this thing, well, really under wraps after the first 15 minutes of the night. What impressed you most about what you saw from Oklahoma? The speed, the depth, the fitness, the firepower, or all of the above?
I think the biggest thing that impressed me, and one of the things that we really were concerned with the Sooners this year, is where are they going to get those goals from? I mean, they had multiple goal scorers last year leave, whether transfer portal or graduate. And I mean, this just shows that not only can they score, but they have reloaded in multiple positions. And I mean, you've got so much success with this Sooner attack. I mean, it is going to be a joy to watch this year.
Kayla Kiefer scored a goal 3.5 minutes into the game, one of 4 that she would score on the night. She added a goal in the 9th minute, another one in the 12th minute, the fastest hat trick in Oklahoma Sooner history. Oklahoma led 4-0 at halftime. Kiefer added that one, her 4th of the night. First 4-goal game in Oklahoma Sooner history. Marissa Foltz scored, Brenna Hallam scored, and then goal number 9 from Isabella Martinez, her first as an Oklahoma Sooner, part of a record-setting night for Oklahoma. 9-0 in the opener. Oklahoma wins it. For Nick McMillan, I'm Chad McKee. We'll talk to you next time on SEC Network.